This video was written by my lovely wife Mary, no, not what's her name from Micronesia, and is being adapted into video form by yours truly. Every opinion here is hers, and I am simply the voice for what she wrote. Tribal idols, the object that every tribe desires in the pre-merge, and why wouldn't they? It guarantees safety from being eliminated and having your torch snuffed. Each season, the creators and producers of Survivor have to come up with a new and improved tribal immunity idol that will hopefully reflect the theme of the season and also be unique. While every season of Survivor, the idol doesn't change in terms of the amount of power it has, the showmanship is what matters to me. Some of these idols are amazing and really show off the artistry of the creators, and some not so much. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 worst tribal immunity idols, because sometimes being bad can be oh so entertaining. Keep in mind that this is all my opinion on the idols only, except One World. It is on this list and I am definitely commenting on that season as a whole. Anyways, I would love to read your thoughts on these idols down in the comments below. Do you want to watch every video I make before they ever get publicly released here on YouTube and pick what videos I make as well? Then join me on Patreon. You can sign up and cancel at any time, and heck, if you join for a year, you get a 15% discount. Thank you for your support. So with that, number 10. Let's start this list off with an old school season. That is season 3, Survivor Africa. Here we have 2 stacked idols with complete bodies and not just faces as you might see in some other tiki idols. The top body has straw-like hair that hangs down to cover them both, and the toothy grins remind me of a Halloween mask. The wooden statue is large and bulky, and while it does fit with the theme of Africa, it also seems a bit generic and simplistic, much like the theme itself. Also, these 2 guys look like they're having way too much fun, but in like a really evil way that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Here's the other thing you're playing for. Probably as important, immunity. I want everybody just to get a feel of this. This is the immunity idol.
Number 9. Next is season 6, Survivor the Amazon. This voodoo-like doll is creepy and, in my opinion, pretty ugly. I get the tribal nature of it and it somewhat fits with the Amazonian theme. However, they really did nothing with the men versus women aspect of this season. I would have loved to have seen a 2-part idol, a man and woman battling out possibly. That would have been epic. But on the flip side, this is not epic, and in fact this doll just makes me want to run and hide. The surprised eyes and wide open mouth makes me feel like it is trying to take a bite out of me. If I were on the winning tribe, I would definitely let someone else take this from Jeff. I wouldn't want to touch it. Oh wait, maybe that's why Joanna didn't want to touch it. That's the real reason.
Immunity. This is what you plan for. This is the immunity idol. Joanna, did you get that? All right.
Number 8. Here we go. Season 9, Survivor Vanuatu. Now, the actual description of this on Survivor Wiki is quote-unquote a long spear-like object with a carved tiki and pig jaw. If those are not 3 of the most random objects thrown together, I'm not sure what else is. Spear, sure, that's a great base for an idol. Tiki, again, sure, it's often the style chosen for the idol. So far, all is well. And animal bones have been used in other idols, so they aren't really out of the question. But when you mash these 3 things together, it kind of looks like you threw it together at the last minute to make the deadline for the project the next day. Like, there's a good bag of elements here, but the elements don't really work together like you think they might on paper. I wonder if the producers were like, hey, here's a fun game, grab that wooden stick that may or may not be a spear, stab the wooden tiki man, and then garnish it with a pig jaw. Perfect, job done, I'm going home.
Immunity. This is what you want in this game. If you have immunity, you are safe. You cannot be voted out. Without it, you are vulnerable.
Number 7. Next up is season 10, Survivor Palau. Old school cannot catch a break on this list despite all the experimentation. Here though, that experimentation went south as this looks to be one of the laziest idols in the history of the game. Sure, some people might like the simplistic design, but to me there isn't really anything special about this one, and sometimes being boring is worse than trying and failing. The empty eye sockets are large and the mouth is stretched into a massive grin. There are a few details and the wooden grain is smooth, but there isn't really much else to say about its description except that it's kind of a humanoid with a necklace. To me, it looks like a monkey who just wants to be meditating. He's really trying to improve himself, but he is just a monkey. At least he is happy though, and it wouldn't terrify me to carry him back to camp.
Immunity. The only thing that keeps you safe in this game is this. As long as you have it, you can't be voted out.
Number 6. Season 17 Survivor Gabon. The beginning of the HD era really kicks off with taking advantage of our fears. That is, if you have a fear of bugs or mice, you might not want to look too closely at this one. This little guy has 2 large insect eyes, a frowning mouth, and hands, if you can call them that, clasped together in the front. I don't really like this one, shocker I guess because it's on this list, because what exactly is this idol? The hair in the back almost looks like someone is driving spikes into his head, and not only spikes, but someone carved a diamond pattern onto his forehead. But he isn't going to get any by the look of things. Also, not only is he being tortured by who knows what, but a mouse has decided to run all over him. That's a true picture of suffering right there. Well, congratulations on winning the challenge.
Want to know what you're playing for?
Yes.
Immunity.
Immunity.
Number 5. Season 30 Survivor Worlds Apart. I have to shake my head every time I see this cretin. It kind of looks like one of those macaroni projects you might have done as a kid at school and then brought home and your parents are like, oh yeah, good job, let's put this on the fridge. And like the moment you leave, they're like, how soon can we take this off the fridge? Which falls in line with the general opinion of this season itself. I mean, you have to give them points for creative thinking, but did they really pull it off? Did they pull off what they planned on doing? This cute little bamboo fork thinks he is ready for battle with his metal top hat and spear. He's even standing next to 2 conveniently placed skulls and holding a tiny spear. His little shell eyes are slanted in a grimace and his toothy cut out mouth looks fierce. But the overall picture is just of a little kid playing soldiers. It's really too cute to be intimidating and too slapped together to be good.
Wins immunity. This is the immunity idol.
Number 4. Season 1 Survivor Borneo. The very first season of Survivor starts us off with one of the worst idols seen. Here, we have 3 different faces stacked on top of one another, and it wasn't even until I made this list that I remembered that this idol exists, and now I wish I didn't remember. The bright colors emphasize the large eyes and mouth. There seems to be legs at the bottom and possibly in the middle, but they are not 3 separate bodies. They're just like 3 connected faces. Frightening and grotesque, to say the least. Also, while we are familiar with tiki statues as idols, Tiki's originated in the Polynesian islands, and Borneo isn't Polynesian. So since this is the first season, they could have tried something different here, you know, to try and get some local culture into the season. If anything, it's a bit misleading about the local culture. Borneo women are known for their beautiful copper arm and leg bracelets. I would have loved to see something like a tiki idol that had copper jewelry like these.
Welcome, tribes, to your first challenge. Congratulations on your first night on the island. You should be very proud. This is the immunity idol. Win this, you stay on the island a few days longer.
Number 3. Season 13 Survivor Cook Islands. This fat little guy is not going to win any beauty contest even though he is crowned with victor's laurels. This frog-like humanoid has reptilian eyes, a too large mouth, a diamond pattern that just looks like snake scales, and his stomach looks like he just got done swallowing a small child. Not only is this idol fairly ugly, it gets separated into 3 distinct pieces. Yep, first place gets the head, second place gets the stomach, and third place gets the feet. I know I would sure feel like a true winner carrying a dismembered stomach around camp.
Immunity.
Immunity. The immunity idol is in 3 pieces because the first 3 tribes to finish win immunity.
Number 2. Season 16 Survivor Micronesia. This one kinda gives me the creeps. Once again, we have a humanoid figure sitting down with empty eye sockets and a really sad expression. Not only that, but he seems to be bound with ropes and there are shells coming off of his back. The shells may look fine from a side angle, but from the front, it looks just like a skeleton has his hands holding the poor guy in place. Does this idol say anything about a magnificent victor in battle? I mean, no, not really. It just screams loneliness and bondage to me.
Immunity. Woo! When you have immunity in your possession, you cannot be voted out.
Honorable mention. Season 24, Survivor One World. It is hard to get through any worst of Survivor lists without briefly mentioning the season, plus I did promise it would be here. I mean, have you seen One World? Here we have a red tiki statue with a mischievous look on its face and sticking its tongue out. I wanted to give an honorable mention to this tiki idol because honestly, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Is it cute? Is it ugly? Is it funny? Is it a beautiful piece of art that I just don't know how to appreciate? Or is it so bland you don't remember it at all? It may be all of these things. Oh, One World, how completely average at best you are.
First tribe to release their flag wins immunity and is safe from the vote. Losers go to tribal council where somebody will be the first person voted out of Survivor One World and sent home.
Number 1. Season 12, Survivor Panama. Number 1 on our worst ever tribal idols list, the See No Evil, Speak No Evil, Hear No Evil, Shrunken Heads of Doom. Ooh, spooky. This idol is a representation of Panama as they are somewhat famous for their shrunken heads, and as we know, one of these is also used for the hidden immunity idol this season. However, this is just barbaric and really gross. Obviously, I know they aren't real heads. I mean, I hope they aren't real heads. I wouldn't put it past Jeff in production though, but just looking at them gives me the creeps, and you guessed it, when there are 4 tribes competing, the top 3 winning tribes each get ahead, with the winner getting the staff and head. Oh joy. I like the See No Evil, Speak No Evil, Hear No Evil concept, but the line has been crossed for me. Why couldn't they just be cute little tiki idols instead? Now, I'm just gonna have nightmares about winning an immunity challenge and being haunted by a floating head. Thanks, Survivor.
Well, in this game, there is nothing more powerful than immunity. This is what you're playing for.
Yeah, baby.
So that is it for the worst tribal idols. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you like the content you see here, then please consider supporting me and this channel on Patreon. Your financial support makes all of this possible, so thank you, and thank you for watching.